H. Hat. Hat is a head covering which is worn for various reasons, including protection against weather conditions, ceremonial reasons such as university graduation, religious reasons, comedy, safety, or as a fashion accessory. Hats which incorporate mechanical features, such as visors, spikes, flaps, braces or beer holders shade into the broader category of headgear. In the past, hats were an indicator of social status. In the military, hats may denote nationality, branch of service, rank or regiment. Police typically wear distinctive hats such as peaked caps or brimmed hats, such as those worn by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Some hats have a protective function. As examples, the hard hat protects construction workers' heads from injury by falling objects. A British police custodian helmet protects the officer's head. H. Hamburger. Hamburger is usually a patty of pan-fried or grilled ground meat, typically beef placed inside a sliced bun, sesame seed bun, or bread roll. These patties are often served with lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, bacon, or chilies, together in the bun or roll. The filling of the burger can be topped with condiments such as ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, relish, or a special sauce, often a variation of Thousand Island dressing. A burger with the patty topped with cheese is called a cheeseburger. Under some definitions, a hamburger is considered a sandwich. Hamburgers are commonly prepared at home and typically associated with fast food restaurants but are also sold at other restaurants, including high-end establishments. There are many international and regional variations of hamburgers. H. Horse. Horse is a domesticated, one-toed, hoofed mammal. It belongs to the taxonomic family Equidae and is one of two extant subspecies of Equus ferus. The horse has evolved over the past 45 to 55 million years from a small multi-toed creature, Eohippus, into the large single-toed animal of today, originally in North America. Humans began domesticating horses around 4000 BCE in Central Asia, and their domestication is believed to have been widespread by 3000 BCE. Horses in the subspecies Cabalus are domesticated, although some domesticated populations live in the wild as feral horses. These feral populations are not true wild horses, which are horses that have never been domesticated. H. House. House is a single-unit residential building. It may range in complexity from a rudimentary hut to a complex structure of wood, masonry, concrete or other material, outfitted with plumbing, electrical, and heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Houses use a range of different roofing systems to keep precipitation such as rain from getting into the dwelling space. Houses generally have doors or locks to secure the dwelling space and protect its inhabitants and contents from burglars or other trespassers. Most conventional modern houses in Western cultures will contain one or more bedrooms and bathrooms, a kitchen or cooking area, and a living room. A house may have a separate dining room, or the eating area may be integrated into the kitchen or another room. H. Hand. Hand is a prehensile, multi-fingered appendage located at the end of the forearm or forelimb of primates such as humans, chimpanzees, monkeys, and lemurs. A few other vertebrates such as the koala are often described as having hands instead of paws on their front limbs. The raccoon is usually described as having hands though opposable thumbs are lacking. Some evolutionary anatomists use the term hand to refer to the appendage of digits on the forelimb more generally, for example, in the context of whether the 3 digits of the bird hand involved the same homologous loss of 2 digits as in the dinosaur hand. The human hand usually has 5 digits, 4 fingers plus 1 thumb, however, these are often referred to collectively as 5 fingers, whereby the thumb is included as one of the fingers. H. Hammer. Hammer is a tool, most often a hand tool, consisting of a weighted head fixed to a long handle that is swung to deliver an impact to a small area of an object. This can be, for example, to drive nails into wood, to shape metal, or to crush rock. Hammers are used for a wide range of driving, shaping, breaking and non-destructive striking applications. Traditional disciplines include carpentry, blacksmithing, warfare, and percussive musicianship. The modern hammerhead is typically made of steel which has been heat treated for hardness, and the handle is typically made of wood or plastic. Ubiquitous in framing, the claw hammer has a claw to pull nails out of wood, and is commonly found in an inventory of household tools in North America. Other types of hammers vary in shape, size, and structure, depending on their purposes. H. Hen. Hen is biologically classified as an adult female bird, most commonly referring to the mature female of the domestic chicken species. In general ornithological and zoological contexts, the term denotes the female counterpart to a cock across various avian species including turkeys, ducks, pheasants, and ostriches, and is even applied to certain aquatic invertebrates like female lobsters. Hens belong to the order Galliformes, a category of heavy, ground-feeding birds. The domestic hen is a direct descendant of the red jungle fowl of Southeast Asia, domesticated by humans thousands of years ago for food, eggs, and cultural practices. Through centuries of selective breeding, modern hens have diverged into specialized categories, primarily divided into layers and broilers. H. Hedgehog. Hedgehog is a spiny mammal of the subfamily Erinaceinae, in the Eulopotyphlon family Erinaceidae. There are 17 species of hedgehog in 5 genera found throughout parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa, and in New Zealand by introduction. There are no hedgehogs native to Australia and no living species native to the Americas. However, the extinct genus Amphicinus was once present in North America. Hedgehogs share distant ancestry with shrews, with jimyurs possibly being the intermediate link, and they have changed little over the last 15 million years. Like many mammals, they have adapted to a nocturnal way of life. Their spiny protection resembles that of porcupines, which are rodents, and echidnas, a type of monotreme. H. Hot air balloon. Hot air balloon is a lighter-than-air aircraft consisting of a bag, called an envelope, which contains heated air. Suspended beneath is a gondola or wicker basket, which carries passengers and a source of heat, in most cases an open flame caused by burning liquid propane. The heated air inside the envelope makes it buoyant, since it has a lower density than the colder air outside the envelope. As with all aircraft, hot air balloons cannot fly beyond the atmosphere. The envelope does not have to be sealed at the bottom, since the air inside the envelope is at about the same pressure as the surrounding air. In modern sport balloons, the envelope is generally made from nylon fabric, and the inlet of the balloon is made from a fire-resistant material such as Nomex. H. Hexagon. Hexagon is a 6-sided polygon with 6 straight sides. The total of the internal angles of any simple hexagon is 720 degrees. A hexagon is defined as a hexagon that is both equilateral and equiangular. Its internal angle is 1/3 of a circle, equal to 120 degrees. The Schlafly symbol denotes this polygon as 6. However, the hexagon can also be considered as cutting off the vertices of an equilateral triangle, which can also be denoted as T3. A hexagon is bicentric, meaning that it is both cyclic, has a circumscribed circle, and tangential, has an inscribed circle. The common length of the sides equals the radius of the circumscribed circle or circumcircle, which equals 2/3 times the apothem. The longest diagonals of a hexagon, connecting diametrically opposite vertices, are twice the length of one side. H. Helicopter. Helicopter is a type of rotorcraft in which lift and thrust are supplied by horizontally spinning rotors. This allows the helicopter to take off and land vertically, to hover, and to fly forward, backward, and laterally. These attributes allow helicopters to be used in congested or isolated areas where fixed-wing aircraft and many forms of short take-off and landing or short take-off and vertical landing aircraft cannot perform without a runway. The Focke-Wulf FW-61 was the first successful, practical, and fully controllable helicopter in 1936, while in 1942, the Sikorsky R-4 became the first helicopter to reach full-scale production. Starting in 1939 and through 1943, Igor Sikorsky worked on the development of the VS-300, which over 4 iterations, became the basis for modern helicopters with a single main rotor. Hot dog. Hot dog is a grilled, steamed, or boiled sausage served in the slit of a partially sliced bun. The term hot dog can also refer to the sausage itself. The sausage used is a Wiener or a Frankfurter. The names of these sausages commonly refer to their assembled dish. Hot dog preparation and condiments vary worldwide. Common condiments include mustard, ketchup, relish, onions in tomato sauce, and cheese sauce. Other toppings include sauerkraut, diced onions, jalapenos, chili, grated cheese, coleslaw, bacon, and olives. Hot dog variants include the corn dog and pigs in a blanket. The hot dog's cultural traditions include the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest and the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile. Harp. Harp is a stringed musical instrument that has individual strings running at an angle to its soundboard. The strings are plucked with the fingers. Harps can be played in either a seated or standing position. Most commonly, harps are made of wood and are triangular in shape. Some have multiple rows of strings and pedal attachments. Ancient depictions of harps were recorded in Mesopotamia, Persia, and Egypt, and later in India and China. By medieval times, harps had spread across Europe. Harps are found across the Americas. In some regions, they are used in popular folk music traditions. Distinct designs also emerged from the African continent. Harps have symbolic political traditions and are often used in logos, including in Ireland. Harmonica. Harmonica is a free reed wind instrument used worldwide in many musical genres, notably in blues, American folk music, classical music, jazz, country, and rock. The many types of harmonica include diatonic, chromatic, tremolo, octave, orchestral, and bass versions. The harmonica is played by using the lips and tongue to direct air into or out of one holes along a mouthpiece, which covers one edge of the harmonica for most of its length. Behind each hole is a chamber containing at least one reed. The most common type of harmonica is a diatonic Richter-tuned instrument with 10 air passages and 20 reeds, often called a blues harp. The harmonica reed is a flat, elongated spring typically made of brass, stainless steel, or bronze, which is secured at one end over a slot that serves as an airway. Hummingbird. Hummingbirds are birds native to the Americas and comprise the biological family Trochilidae. With approximately 375 species and 113 genera, they occur from Alaska to Tierra del Fuego, but most species are found in Central and South America. As of 2026, 21 hummingbird species are listed as endangered or critically endangered, with about 255 species declining in population. Hummingbirds have varied specialized characteristics to enable rapid, maneuverable flight, exceptional metabolic capacity, adaptations to high altitude, sensitive visual and communication abilities, and long-distance migration in some species. Among all birds, male hummingbirds have the widest diversity of plumage color, particularly in blues, greens, and purples. Hummingbirds are the smallest mature birds, measuring 7.5 to 13 centimeters in length. Hill. Hill is a landform that extends above the surrounding terrain. It often has a distinct summit, and is usually applied to peaks which are above elevation compared to the relative land mass, though not as prominent as mountains. Hills fall under the category of slope landforms. The distinction between a hill and a mountain is unclear and largely subjective, but a hill is universally considered to be not as tall, or as steep as a mountain. Geographers historically regarded mountains as hills greater than 1,000 feet above sea level. In contrast, hill walkers have tended to regard mountains as peaks 2,000 feet above sea level. The Oxford English Dictionary also suggests a limit of 2,000 feet, and Whitto states, some authorities regard eminences above 600 m as mountains, those below being referred to as hills. Hare. Hair is a protein filament that grows from follicles found in the dermis. Hair is one of the distinguishing characteristics of mammals. The human body, apart from areas of glabrous skin, is covered in follicles which produce thick terminal and fine vellus hair. Most common interest in hair is focused on hair growth, hair types, and hair care, but hair is also an important biomaterial primarily composed of protein, notably alpha-keratin. Attitudes towards different forms of hair, such as hairstyles and hair removal, vary widely across different cultures and historical periods, but it is often used to indicate a person's personal beliefs or social position, such as their age, gender, or religion. H. Hippopotamus. Hippopotamus is a large semi-aquatic mammal native to sub-Saharan Africa. It is one of only two extant species in the family Hippopotamidae, the other being the pygmy hippopotamus. Its name comes from the ancient Greek for river horse. After elephants and rhinoceroses, the hippopotamus is the next largest land mammal. It is also the largest extant land artiodactyl. Despite their physical resemblance to pigs and other terrestrial even-toed ungulates, the closest living relatives of the hippopotamids are cetaceans, from which they diverged about 55 million years ago. Hippos are recognizable for their barrel-shaped torsos, wide-opening mouths with large canine tusks, nearly hairless bodies, short legs, and large size. Adults average 1.5 t for bulls and 1.3 t for female cows. H. Heart. Heart is an ideograph used to express the idea of the heart in its metaphorical or symbolic sense. The symbol is a symmetrical shape consisting of two similar curves meeting in a point at one end and a cusp at the other, not an anatomically correct representation of a heart. Often colored red, the heart symbol denotes the center of emotion, including affection and love, especially romantic love. While ancient antecedents may exist, this shape for the heart became fixed in Europe in the Middle Ages. It is sometimes accompanied or superseded by a wounded heart symbol, depicted as a heart symbol pierced with an arrow indicating lovesickness, or as a broken heart symbol in two or more pieces, indicating heartbreak. H. Hamster. Hamsters are rodents belonging to the subfamily Chrysitinae, which contains 19 species classified in 7 genera. They have become established as popular small pets. The best-known species of hamster is the golden or Syrian hamster, which is the type most commonly kept as a pet. Other hamster species commonly kept as pets are the 3 species of dwarf hamster, Camel's dwarf hamster, the winter white dwarf hamster, and the Roborovsky hamster, and the less common Chinese hamster. Hamsters feed primarily on seeds, fruits, vegetation, and occasionally burrowing insects. In the wild, they are crepuscular, they forage during the twilight hours. In captivity, however, they are known to live a conventionally nocturnal lifestyle, waking around sundown to feed and exercise.